Okay, so this is a cute little book that my son had on his shelf. I'm doing my homeschool channel, so I will be talking more about my homeschooling. You can follow me on Instagram too now, where I have homeschooling stuff on my channel. I almost said on my planet reading this. So we know that they don't count Pluto anymore as a planet. Not sure exactly why. Not sure it's correct. But I used to say my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas, but there's no P anymore. So I think if you can read to your kids and ask them a lot of questions, like kids, I mean, just read to them and a lot of questions are going to come out. And then you can go from there. You can make your own unit studies. You can do a project. You can watch a TV show. It is so easy to homeschool now. When I started, most of the people I knew in a church that had a lot of people in a church had been homeschooling. It was really tough for them to homeschool. I mean, you could go to jail for homeschooling. So a lot of the ones I knew were pioneers. So then I homeschooled for about 29 years. And at the end of my homeschooling, it started becoming more popular, and now anybody can homeschool. You have YouTube, you have so many resources at your fingertips. I think the challenge now is really which resources will I be using, and that can be, where I started, it was like, where are the resources to homeschool? It was difficult to find. I had to interlibrary loan like everything at the library, and now it's like, make sure you only have a little bit of time to homeschool, so make sure you are picking the resources that you want. The biggest thing you want to get down is your philosophy of homeschooling. Do you want traditional? Do you want eclectic? Do you like unschooling? Do you like classical? What kind of philosophy do you like? And then from there, once you have your philosophy down, go through and pick the books that you want, and pick, each year have a plan. So every year, this is not required always now, but you have to submit a list of what resources you would be using with the author, and you would have to submit that each year and notify, the superintendent that you plan to homeschool. So I know that was dropped in the last years of my homeschooling in New Hampshire. I didn't have to notify them every year, and I didn't have to give them all my resources I would be using. So I did still have to have that evaluation each year. But do that anyways. Have a plan each year, and then break it down into sections. What am I going to be doing for, the fall? What am I going to be doing for the summer? What are we going to be doing for, the winter? On and on. What are we doing for spring? Just break it down so that you even have like semesters. So as long as you have a plan and you get off track, you're going to be pretty safe, because you can get back to that plan. And always read and constantly learn about homeschooling. I had the Homeschool Coalition to help me along. I had the Homeschool Legal Defense that I had known about as a resource. I didn't join. Maybe I joined 1 year, but I had resources at my fingertips. So if you almost daily are reading more books about homeschooling, which I read just about every single book on the shelf of homeschooling at that time, from Mary Pride to Rebecca, I can't think of her name, but it was like Homeschooling the World for Free, Using the World to Homeschool for Free, just a lot of books. Whatever was in the library I would use, and then specialize in that, and then you'll know, when something comes up, you'll be okay. One of the hardest ones for me too, one of the hardest arguments at first was, your poor kids, how are they going to be socialized? They need to be socialized. And I read a book, maybe it was the Moors, it could be Beachick, it could be Charlotte Mason, I'm not sure. And they said, how do you want your kids socialized? They will get socialized one way or another. It can be negatively through schools, which a lot of it is, or it can be through you with your values. back when I was homeschooling, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I would not want my kids in public school today. No way.